Hey guys, I am back and I have something that came to me right from Kubey. They wanted to send me something. They didn't tell me what it was going to be, and they just said they want to send me something new to look at. And I was like, yeah. And so this is not a surprise to me. You guys know how I like to open it in front of you, for the surprise factor. I wasn't sure what the package was. It just kind of came wrapped up in a black thing, so I kind of opened it already, and I was like, what the? Because I didn't know if it was something I ordered or whatever. I didn't realize that this was the knife that they sent. So I have already peeked inside, and I'll tell you what, I think it's really awesome. A little backstory. Kubey's been around for a while. I unboxed my first Kubey, I can't remember, 5, 6, 7, maybe more years ago. And I always like to say this, I was showing you guys Kubeys before Kubey was cool. And they have some, it is a Chinese brand, granted, but they have some really good quality knives, and they offer stuff from, budget friendly all the way up to high end, $100 plus, all the way into like $200, $250, like really good quality stuff. It is, and I've spent plenty of my own money on Kubeys because they just make really good stuff. In fact, like for the first several years of showing you Kubeys, it was all money I spent. It wasn't until I had done several videos that they said, hey, we'd like to send you some to look at. So anyway, just the backstory of this. But yes, this was not bought by me. This one was sent by Kubey. And what we're going to be looking at today is the KU248. This is the Bluff. And this is a kind of a special one. This has a handle material they call Ultem. I don't know exactly what that is, but I'll tell you why it's cool. Let's get it open. Now, just another point of interest. This is their boxing for their, I would say, lower end kind of line. They have their higher end stuff that comes in a fancier box, and the knives come in a nice zippered case and everything. That's not to say the quality on these is any lower. It's just the materials and stuff are not as higher end as the other ones. So you get your little Kubey card. This has some Omega springs in it, so that tells us what kind of lock we're dealing with here. And I will get this opened. This retails for about $60, I think. And this is the knife, and it's surprisingly lightweight. So I am judging based on the feel that this Ultem, excuse me, is some kind of acrylic or polymer or something like that. And it would seem that we have those inset bronzed liners into the acrylic, or the Ultem, whatever it happens to be. Now, interestingly enough, on their website, they say that, or the product info anyway, they actually go as far as to call this an axis lock. And I've talked about this many times. The patent on this locking system is expired. Anybody can use it. What's trademarked is the name axis lock. I hope Kubey's not going to get themselves in trouble by calling this an actual axis lock. That's why many companies use this, but they call it different names. Axis lock, axis is actually trademarked by Benchmade. But what's really cool is you can actually see here on the internals, you can see how the mechanism actually works, how the spring, it wants to pop open right away, how the springs work when you squeeze. I think that's really cool. There are versions of this that are just straight G10. But this one is, kind of the see-through version. I think that's really cool. So bead blast, drop point blade. Finish looks pretty nice. Got a little bit of, just the same general oil that comes on a lot of knives. So let's get that off. Okay. Sandvik 14C28N steel, which is pretty good for EDC stuff. It's it's used by a lot of people. It's used in a lot of outdoors type knives too. Holds an edge, fairly corrosion resistant. So not too shabby as steel goes. Deep carry clip. Reversible left or right. Nice spring and retention on the clip, but not like too pocket shreddy tight. Need to break that in a little bit, but one-handable. Decent size too, and that pattern on it makes it very grippy. I like it. Good jimping, fairly far down the spine. I think that groove there, that's mostly aesthetic, but nice. Little small, feels a little small in my hand. Remember, I've got these big hands I'm always complaining about, but it's comfortable. That clip don't really feel it in my hand. And for like an EDC type blade, I think it's a pretty good size. That's what she said. But it's something I would feel comfortable carrying around. And again, it is very lightweight because you have the liners that are inset. There's not a whole lot. This is a pretty lightweight material. Fit and finish on it is great. I mean, like I said, Kubey is good quality. They make things very, very well. Very smooth cutting. Cord, which sometimes I remember to do and sometimes I don't, but no effort there in the slice and the pull through. A little bit of effort, not much at all, but I like it a lot. Bevels here are perfectly even. Blade comes perfectly centered. Actually, it might be just like a millimeter off to the left there, but that's nothing that can't be fixed. There's no play there. There's nothing that can't be fixed, probably by little tiny pivot tightening. Actually, it does look, might be the lighting, because when I look at it this way, it's perfect. Might be the way the light is coming down on it. Want to put a drop of oil in that pivot. I don't have it right here, but I think that would really help the action, make it perfectly one-handable. I think it's a really nice, I really like this. And looking on the website, they have a lot of models where they're using this to give that kind of clear look through it. You can really see the skeletonization in those liners to help lighten it up. I don't know, I really think it's kind of a cool look. And it's definitely something that, when we talk about on my knife ratings, which I don't do anymore, mainly because I'm lazy. If you guys, it's something you want to see me do with the actual ratings, I'll do it again. But when we talk about cool factor, and yeah, that's not a practical, measurement, but it is kind of a thing when you take a knife out of your pocket and people see it and they're like, whoa, what is that? Let me check it out. Where'd you get that? Who makes that? That's a cool factor right there. And I've seen aftermarket transparent kind of scales sold for a lot of knives for a lot of money. So I think that, with the kind of retail price Kubey asks for this for $60, I've seen those scales, those aftermarket scales sold for that much or more. So, I think that this is a pretty good deal. So Kubey's been killing it for a long time with some really great designs. Like I said, some pretty affordable, some more in the high-end range. This is, depending on how you put it, my definition of budget knife is usually under $50. This would be a little bit more than that, but I think it's just a really cool look. It's something different. It's conversation starter, and it's just a cool piece to have in your collection, and it's nice. So I like it, and I'm putting a link, because they sent me the knife, to Kubey's website where you can check out this. They have a lot of cool stuff, and I've been a big fan of Kubey since I got my very first one, the original KU248A, which I talk about all the time. One of my favorite knives ever. They don't even make it anymore, but it's been on the channel over and over since I bought that very first one. So you can look at the link to their website. You can check out all the cool stuff they have, if you want. But I thank Kubey for sending this. I definitely am going to carry this. I'll update you guys on anything that I, feel like I should come back and update you guys on. I want to know your opinion on this, though. Do you guys like the look of this kind of look on the inside and see the workings of it? Is that cool to you, or would you rather prefer just a solid kind of scale? Is this an interesting knife to you? Overall, what do you think? Yes, no, something you'd like to carry, something you wouldn't? Kubey owners, what do you think? Do you agree? Kubey, good quality? Anybody have a bad story with Kubey that you want to share? Because I'm not just, I don't just want to hear from people that have good things to say. If you have something that, you want to share with the group, feel free. But overall, I really like what Kubey has. So, looking forward to hearing your opinions on this knife, because I think this is a really cool piece and something that I'm looking forward to giving some pocket time to. Looking forward to hearing from all of you guys. And remember that you are all absolutely awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.